Monday Rip. And we're back. It's Monday edition. I like that riff on a Monday. We're kicking it live on a Monday. Sean and Spit in the morning, presented by Off Base Media. Monday, August 4th. Could be our first August show. I don't know if it is. We didn't do Friday, but I forget. But an eventful weekend nonetheless that we can recap, things to look forward to, and pretty much everything in between. Shani, how we feeling on a Monday?
Fun weekend. So everybody's finally in their new threads. We saw some crazy shit. The Speedway Classic was a huge failure apparently, but we'll get into that later. Leave it to the good old MLB to make it happen. But yeah, it was a good weekend of baseball. Always is a good weekend of baseball when it's beautiful weather on the East Coast like we had out here. I was at the game Saturday. Got to see Tariq and Wheeler go at it. Fucking awesome time. Beautiful game. I will say this. There was a lot of Detroit Tigers fans in Philly, man.
Disgusting.
I was shocked. We were surrounded where we were sitting. We were surrounded. They were all around us.
What were their jerseys on the back?
What a lot of them were wearing the new guys. There was one guy wearing a Miggy jersey though.
Okay, respect.
And he looked like he has been a lifelong Detroit Tigers fan, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I can't believe the Tigers fans are traveling well. That's a good, I guess.
And I almost got to give them props if they've actually been Tigers fans for that long, because to sit through that amount of suck for however long they were, good for them.
Good for them, and anything to get out of Detroit, I guess. But on that note, we'll go into our vibe check. Little vibe check here. We'll kind of start with how the standings stack up, because we did see some movement in the standings. But by the way, we got some hot motherfucking teams. Best record since June 13th. This was entering Sunday. So we saw the Brewers have been the hottest team in baseball, and we all know that. But their record, again, this is since June 13th. You know why it's since June 13th? Because that's the fucking graphic I saw on the Yes Network when I was watching the game yesterday, and the Yankees are miserable. Brewers 29-11. The Marlins are on this list, so that's why they showed it on the Yes Network. They're 29-14, but this was entering Sunday, so they actually have 30 wins, 30-14 since June 13th. Good for them. You see teams like Boston, Blue Jays, Rangers all on this list. Those are some of the hotter teams in the league. And with those teams in mind, we saw movement in the standings, especially with those AL teams, especially in the East. Right, Shawnee? Because the fucking Yankees fell out. But we can go in order. I just jumping out of my shoes because any time to bash Boone right now is a good time to do it.
Yeah, so I can't wait to get into that. But first, I guess we'll talk about the team that I believed in the entire time span, the Milwaukee fucking Brewers. And people are going to be like, well, yeah, the Brewers are always good in every single regular season. Yeah, they are. They are good. But I think – so I was trying to ask myself, what sets this team aside? Like, what is different about this team than past teams? And I would probably have to bring it down to a little bit on their pitching. Like, I think their pitching has improved since years prior. They kind of are like, you know, they don't really have that one star. You know, Yelich is old. I know Jackson Chourio is a beast, but he's hurt right now, actually. Contreras hasn't looked that good. Their role players are just playing out of their freaking mind, man. Bryce Terang's still playing unbelievable. But I can list some other notables. But I really do think that their pitching is what kind of separates them from this year in terms of past years. Like Freddie Peralta's pitching like a true number one this year.
Yeah, you throw Mizorowski. Ever since Woodruff's come back, he's proven to be a stud, and he hasn't. It's been such a long time coming for him to make his return. But either way, like they're now 2 games up on the Cubbies, and the Cubbies was like, "Oh, we're the big bad Cubs." For how long? Pretty much the Brewers got hot; they didn't look back. So they're 2 games up on them, and like you said, it's going to come down to pitching and bullpen. I guess defense too, but not that the Cubs have a bad defense, but pitching and bullpen. The Cubs didn't really address starting pitching as to the extent that they should have at the deadline. Now, starting pitching in general didn't get moved at the deadline. They brought in Mike Soroka, but like, who cares? So it didn't get moved like that at the deadline. But I knew people were talking about Milwaukee having a bad deadline too. I thought the Cubs really had needed to really hit home on a starting pitching. That's what's going to matter. Milwaukee had pitching and bullpen. If they would have did some cutesy moves, and that's just better. But now they're 2 games up on them, and you talk about their bullpen, talk about their starting pitch. That's what's going to matter down the stretch. They have that over the Cubs, so it doesn't shock me that your Milwaukee Brewers, you kind of sneaky like the Brewers, man. You like them a little too much.
No, not a little too much, but I just believe in them. Yeah. I think like the past 30 days.
I never do, and they always prove me wrong. I will say
they got 7 people hitting above 300 the past 30 days. Like that's fucking nuts. And I think will it all fall apart? I'm not 100% sure, but like Freddie Peralta, Chad Patrick, Quinn Priester, all have even Jose Quintana all have ERAs sub 3.5 or
Yeah,
3.52. Like
yeah.
they're starting pitching. I don't think they needed to address much starting pitching because then
Oh,
yet again,
they didn't. They didn't.
yeah.
But if they wanted to do something in the offensive side of things, and that's what people I think were shitting on them. But I was like, I don't know. They're kind of on a roll. Their offense has been fine. I don't know if it's enough to take that next leap to be able to actually get past the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I guess at least they have the pitching and bullpen over the team like the Cubs, who've been in first for all season, and now Milwaukee really taking their spot. Like this is Milwaukee's spot in the standings.
But
Until someone takes it.
Once again, we don't know how those guys are going to look in the playoffs. Like I just said, the role players kind of thing are what been helping to see. Like Andrew Vaughn is having like an unbelievable past 30 days.
Yeah.
Like
That is
we don't
true.
know how he's going to look in October. And that's normally what happens. Sometimes like last year in that Mets series, the pitching didn't look bad. Their hitting was just kind of like atrocious. So that's where you kind of, that's why I really wanted them to go get a bat, but they just couldn't.
So you look at some of the teams that kind of been hot that I mentioned. It's like those 5 teams. Brewers were on the list. I'll throw the Marlins out because they probably won't make the playoffs, although they are 500 at the moment.
They are 500.
They're like, what did they win? 5 in a row?
Yep.
Again, win streak. Let's put the Red Sox on this list and the Blue Jays on this list. Those are the teams that I guess if the season would end today, Brewers, Red Sox, Blue Jays, the season would end today, they're in the playoffs. And then you have the Rangers, I think, on the outside looking in still.
They're 2 games out, Rangers, right now.
Okay. So those 3 teams out of the 5 that have been hot since June 13th and have those really good records, let's single out the Brewers, Red Sox, Blue Jays. They're all similar in the sense of I don't know how any of these teams are going to be in the playoffs. And that's to your point. Like the Brewers and their role players. Blue Jays, you can make the same case. They're one of the hottest teams in baseball. Look at their role players. They're producing and they're allowing for the Blue Jays to get hot at the right time, similar to the Brewers. We don't know what they're going to look like in the playoffs. We don't know how this Red Sox, a young core, is going to look like in the playoffs. I think you can make that case for all these teams. But listen, you get hot at the right time. That's great. I do think experience matters down the line. Maybe Boston has that a little bit better than some because you have a Bregman on your side and whoever the hell else is there. But Chapman in the – you know what I mean? Some of these guys have rings at least. I don't know how many rings are in the Brewers clubhouse or how many rings are in the Blue Jays clubhouse. So
probably 0.
Yeah, so I'm trying to think off the top of my head.
Mine is Springer.
Oh, Springer on Toronto, so that matters. But even still, I think maybe like but they're very young. They're very young. How do they look? Because they're on a 5-game win streak. How do they look come October and down the stretch? Especially, they didn't do a great job addressing their rotation either. But Blue Jays, same case with the Brewers. So they all been hot right now. But what do they look like moving forward?
And that does matter. I like that. People always will bring up, oh, the experience is overrated. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's a different ball game in October. You have to do the little things, and veterans seem to know that. I mean, what the fuck do I know? But like, it just seems like the teams that have those kind of vets on them and have experience, like obviously you're going to get teams that come out of the woodwork every now and again that just make like these crazy runs and stuff. So, but I think veteran presence is very big.
Also, the Phillies, first place Phillies. So I don't know the last time they were in first. It's like every few weeks they change, but they're a half game up on the Mets, which is good.
Like I said,
Mets lost 2 out of 3 on the weekend to the Giants. I think that was 2 out of 3, right?
Yeah, it's just going to be a seesaw this whole entire and then it's just going to be whoever ends up finishing like September with like that's hotter. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's all. I seriously think that's what this comes down to because both these teams are fantastic in certain areas and then not really good in other areas. But like, I do believe that this will just keep changing until the end of the season.
I think it's going to change over the course of the season. And also what's going to matter is how they play each other down the stretch, because don't they have like 7 games against each other?
Yeah, they always do. Do you have the schedule up right now?
I'm looking at it. Yeah, I just pulled it up. August 25th to the 27th, 3-game set in Citi Field. And then there's a 4-game set at the Bank in like early September, the 8th to the 11th.
And way back when, in like the 08, like 07 through like 09, or whenever you want to say, like that good stretch for both the Mets, like when David Wright was there, when J-Roll was on the Phillies, that 4-game set used to really fucking mean something back then. In the 08 to win the division, they swept the Mets in a 4-game set. That's how they won the division that year.
It's going to come down to something similar this year. I
Yeah.
think it's going to be that same vibe of what it used to be because both teams are good again. That rivalry is going to be peak down the stretch. Expect sellout crowds and shit. I mean, you talk about Tigers fans fucking traveling.
Oh,
Like
dude,
that.
Mets
I mean,
fans
what
travel
about
like
Mets and
crazy.
Phillies? Yeah, that's going to be
Dude,
nuts.
they travel like crazy. Every single time I'm in, it makes me disgusted because every single time I'm in not City Field, Citizens Bank Park, I see they shuttle buses down and shit, and I'm like,
Gross.
oh god,
Yeah, it's like who's stinking up the place?
Yeah, it's these fucking New Yorkers.
Yeah. Well, speaking of New Yorkers, Yankees been stinking up the place too. They just fell to third place behind Boston. That's another kind of one of the bigger movements in the standings over the weekend. Yankees stink. They lost 3 in a row. That's getting swept out of Miami. Bye-bye, Yankees. You deserve to get swept. They still have a playoff spot right now, but I mean, when you have teams on your ass, like let's just do a quick wild card check. They got the second wild card spot right now with Seattle right on their ass, and they play Texas. When we do our look ahead, we could talk more about that series. But Texas is right there 2 days back, and they play the Yankees to start this week. I mean, I don't know if I'm worried about those central teams like Cleveland and Kansas City. They look good against the Yankees. Just take 3 out of 4 against Tampa Bay, and now they get swept against Miami. They're becoming a tough team to read. And some of these hard teams that we were talking about to start the season, like a team like St. Louis was hard to read at the beginning of the year. How does that work long term? If you're hard to read, you probably don't have much of an identity. And if you don't have an identity, you're not going to go very far. And right now, the Yankees' identity is like mental fucking mistakes. It's errors. It's everyone wants to get Boone at the hell out of the Bronx. He had one at bat. He had one at bat as a player, Aaron Boone did. Okay, and he hit a home run and said, "Good job, Aaron. That's your claim to fame. You should have left it at that." Because I wasn't even going to go that deep. I wasn't going to do that deep, Sean, because there's nothing I could say that hasn't already been said a million times since circa 2019. Like all these things have been said already a million times, and it's if anything, it's just showing more and more. They get exposed against teams that can play good baseball. I know the Marlins aren't a good team necessarily. They get exposed against good teams. Marlins aren't necessarily a good team. They're a 500 team now, but they are one of the best teams in baseball since that June 13th marker that we pointed out. So it's like they're going to get exposed against these teams that are going to be pesky and scrap together hits. I'm surprised they took 3 out of 4 from the Rays, and I think they lost the first game of that series. I'm surprised they took the next 3. That was crazy to me. But terrible shit. They make errors. They make mental mistakes. A lot of the stuff is inexcusable. They don't have timely hitting. That's a well-known thing. They strike out too much. That's a well-known thing. But bad stuff all in all.
So with the Yankees, well, first off, I heard an interesting stat the other day. The Marlins are now the only team in the MLB to have a winning record historically against the Yankees.
Oh, how about that?
They're the only team, which is that's wild. First off, out of everybody,
it's one of the smaller sample sizes. Though.
Yeah. So, yeah, you can say these things about Boone, and you can say all of this, but also like you have mistakes coming from like Jazz Chisholm should be a veteran in that clubhouse, in a sense, and he's getting blown up and like making probably that was the fly out to second base where he got thrown out at first. That's one of the dumbest things I've ever seen on a baseball field. And I'm not putting that lightly. Like that was stupid. That was just fucking stupid. And how does he not get pulled from that game, number one? Like if I'm you, I want Boone in his face and say, get your ass in the clubhouse, take off the fucking jersey, sit down. Like somebody has to take a stand in that clubhouse or you guys are fucked.
Or at least the veteran has to be fiery. Like Harper would probably get in someone's face. Or at least there was a time when Harper did. I don't know if he still would.
I don't think he would anymore, but you're right. There was a time he would.
There was a time he would. Even if it's not going to be Boone, it's got to be somebody. And if it's not going to be somebody, then it's got to be Boone. Like, I don't fucking know what it's got to be. Maybe the bench coach. I don't fucking know.
You think about your like Judge doesn't seem like that kind of guy. No, he's not that kind of leader. Bellinger definitely ain't that kind of leader.
Bellinger's like stoned half the time, and Stanton's really not either.
That's what I was just gonna say. Stanton isn't, and he's not either. They're all kind of very mellow dudes. And you guys, this is, and I almost think because I heard a lot of Yankee fans. They're like, "Oh, we got some guys with some swagger now. We've got, they don't play that clean cut baseball that the Yankees used to be known for, kind of thing, like back in the Jeter and A-Rod days." But it's different now. You guys got a little sweat, but they make insanely bad mental errors. And listen, I see it on my end too with the Phillies. Like you want to talk about veteran presence and things like that. The mental mistakes are going to fucking kill you every time. And veteran baseball players should not be making those mental mistakes.
Yeah, it's very bad. And, maybe sometimes the mistakes get blown bigger when you lose that game. There was a game where the Yankees kind of had a back and forth one against in the Rays series where Austin Wells thought there was the third out, and he starts walking off of second base, and then they tag him. They at least came back and won that game, so at least that wasn't the narrative of that particular game. But it's becoming like an everyday thing now. Is my point, and especially when you lose and get swept, and the Chisholm thing happens, and listen, the last time they went on a losing streak when they had like those Boston series from a while back, and they were on maybe a 7-game losing streak then. And some of those things got blown out of proportion. They kind of found it again a little bit, nothing crazy, but since then they found it, and now it's almost like you don't know what you're going to get. It's crazy that they can win 3 out of 4 from Tampa Bay and then lose this series. But my point is, at the beginning, when they were really shitty, when they had like those 30 consecutive innings of not scoring, and that was going on, I remember like mental mistakes there and getting thrown out on the base paths with like 2 outs or like extra innings. Runs are so precious, and you're getting picked off, or you're getting caught stealing in like times where you shouldn't be even stealing. You're on second base, you're getting caught stealing third when you can't score runs. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Then they came, maybe, I don't know if they cleaned it up necessarily, but at least they started to kind of get back on track and maybe get back to like a little bit more of a win streak, or start win a series here and there. And now we're kind of getting back to looking like shit again. And yes, the errors, the mental errors, everything. And it's just not consistent enough baseball to win. It's not winning baseball. It's terrible.
Like, in no way are we reinventing the wheel here. We say it all the time. We're two fucking idiots talking about baseball for fun kind of thing. But I just want to ask you this, what changes it? Is it Boone, or is it a veteran at this point?
I think it's got to be Boone. My biggest thing has been this. Or a veteran. I mean, I don't know if it could be a veteran, because who are you going to bring? I mean, maybe – I don't know. I think it's got to be a Boone thing, and he's got to go, and that's got to stop. I don't even know if him getting fired at this point of the season is even good.
Because it's late now.
It's too late. It's too late to do it. So I don't think you can do it. But in the offseason, maybe, or you rock with him for the first like month, and if they continue of next season, but he's on an extremely short leash, so that way you can try to let a fight, like kind of what they did with Rob Thompson when he took over. I would let Boone, just not to say that they did that to Girardi, but in the sense of lighting a fire under people's asses instead of doing it in an off season and then maybe that's good too, because then you have like a good transition period. But something has to give, because it's the same brand of baseball, generally speaking, year after year after year, and it's different cast members. So it's the different cast members, but they continue with the similar approaches at the plate. If anything, it's getting amplified now. It's getting worse in terms of the errors and mental mistakes. But it's the same brand of baseball with different cast members. Who do you fucking look to now? It's a Boone issue, or front office should go all fire themselves.
So I have two more things to say, then we can move on, because I don't think you want to talk about it too much longer. But one,
same shit. I'm like,
Boone is horrible.
I've accepted
Boone's horrible in the media. Like, his post games are so bad. They're terrible. And
yeah, I know.
For a guy to be in New York and not be great with the media, it's not the best mix. But then two, do these guys even like Boone enough to play for him like that? Like, do they? Like, I don't think that, like, we know the players in Philly liked Rob Thompson. They wanted to play for Rob. It was very well known. Like, you had Reese Hoskins' wife saying, like, we ride with Philly Rob and stuff like that. Like, every chance she got on Twitter and stuff. Like, we knew they liked Rob Thompson a lot. They still do like Rob Thompson a lot. And I think if he was ever on the hot seat, which he probably has been, they would want to play for him, you know? Do like the Yankees kind of have that? Do they want to play for Aaron Boone like that?
Well, it seems like, especially as of late, especially after this weekend, it seems like Boone's lost the clubhouse a little bit, given some of the things that's been happening. But who knows? I don't know what goes on behind the scenes. He does back his players. He does try his best to back his players and stick up for his players and not really out them to the media. That's part of the reason I think his media quotes are so shitty. It's because he tries. To me, there's a happy medium between not outing your players, but also being honest with, especially with yourself, because sometimes it comes across complacent. That's just my semantics on it. Like, maybe there's
100%.
I say complacent, and I think that's a good word personally, but I don't know what other people say. either way, like he's not going to out these guys, which is good. And he has his guys back. Okay, that's nice, but I mean, it hasn't been working for how long now? And listen, I know they go on playoff runs and last 2 times they got bumped from the playoffs. They got embarrassed in the World Series. And people talk about the strength of schedule that led up to the World Series. Okay, fine. You want to talk about that? I mean, we can bring that up again. I mean, they had a fine little – and then when they ran into a good Dodgers team, you could clearly see who the better team was. The time before that was 2022, and they got bumped, and they got swept against Houston, and they could never beat Houston. And they could get through a kind of a younger power or a younger and a Cleveland team that lacked a little bit of pop in 2022. They can get through that with playing decent, all right baseball at best. But it still took them 5 games to get through Cleveland, and then they play that same brand of baseball against you. They get swept. So they get exposed against good teams, and something has to give. And I think maybe at this point in time, Booney could be losing these fucking guys. I don't know.
It would be interesting to see who would take over after, because I think there's no way they can't move on from him if this year ends disastrously again.
I think they say, oh, he led us to a World Series last year. Yeah, it's fine. But if they don't make the playoffs, and that's 2 times in the last 3 years that you missed the playoffs, and then the World Series the pennant doesn't mean really anything to me. You got embarrassed when you got there.
Yeah, for some teams the pennant's awesome, but you want rings. Ultimately, you want rings.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if they looked better in it. Like, I hate to be that guy. Like, it's such this has been my thing on Boone. Like, if Boone is the guy, because I think the only thing that winning the pennant did last year was allow Boone to keep his fucking job.
Yeah.
But if Boone's going to be your guy, then surround him with players that could be like, put like a fiery guy in that clubhouse. Like, try to check off boxes in that way if you're the front office, if you're going to say Boone's your guy. Or if you're not going to do that, then Boone's not your guy. Like, it has to be a well-rounded affair. It's not a well-rounded fucking thing right now. It's bad. Let's move on. I can't.
All right. Well, Mariners, 2.5 games out of first. Your guys over there in Seattle. You've always believed
my
in
guys.
them.
No, I didn't. I did not believe in Seattle.
It was the Rangers. But Mariners, 2.5 games, take 3 or 4 from the Rangers. Sorry, that's where I was getting. Rangers are still in a very good spot. They've, like we said, we talked about how hot they've been, 25-18 since June 13th or whatever. Let me see real quick. Like we said earlier, they're 2 games out now. Mariners are holding a wild card spot. Still look pretty good. I think they're only 2 games back on the Astros 2 right now.
2.5.
My boy over there, former Philly JP Crawford, walking it off in pretty awesome fashion this weekend as well too. What do you think? What do you think about the Mariners right now, man?
Yeah, so they take 3 to 4 from Texas, right? And I want to see Texas do better. They were tied going into this 4-game set. Now Seattle stands alone in second place, 2.5 back. I think J-Rod had a few notable milestones. I think he might have hit his 100th career home run and maybe became one of a handful of guys to be a 2020 guy in his first 4 years or something.
It was his 4th straight 2020 year, and we talk about him. He's a slow starter, but he's 2020 is nothing to fucking just write off.
He's got a lot of tools. I would have liked to see Texas do something. And now they got the Yankees, and I forget where that game is. I would assume it's in. Is it Yankee Stadium? Where's that game? Oh, it's in Texas. So the Yankees
it's in Texas, yeah.
Fuck me. So yeah. So at least Texas. I mean, who knows? That could be its own thing. There's reason to believe that Texas and Yankees, both of them, kind of fallen back in the standings from when they originally were before the weekend. Both of them are going to be looking to get back at it. But good for the Mariners, stand alone. They've proven to be the real deal, especially after this trade deadline, and they haven't faltered or anything. It's not like they bring in these pieces and then no one performs. Good for them. They won. They took 3 out of 4 from a division rival who they were neck and neck with prior to this weekend. So good for them.
And minus Friday, all close games. It was 6-0 Friday. They won 4-3 Friday. 6-0 Thursday. 4-3 Friday. Lost on Saturday 4-6. Sunday 5-4 win. So that's a playoff series right there, man. That's pretty cool. That's some good baseball.
That is. Let's go to our next topic here. Let's play a little cool or not cool. Some of the talking points over the weekend. You say you play along at home. Say, is it cool or not cool? We'll start with this one. Yankees release Stroman. Luis Gil comes back. Okay, cool, right? Cool. Luis Gil, last year's Rookie of the Year. Stroman out with the old, in with the new. Gil, okay. But then Gil makes season debut Sunday against the Marlins. He goes 3 1/3, 5 earned, 4 walks. Not cool, Luis.
Yeah, so I'm going to give this like a lukewarm.
Yeah.
Because it is, like you said, out with the old, in with the new. Stroman at one time was a great pitcher. He hadn't really had it this year. Plus, he's been hurt like every single year, right?
Yeah, pretty much. He's been
yeah.
Done with shit, yeah.
So I mean, Stroman, he was a good pitcher. He always brings a little bit of swag, a little bit of fire to a team. But you want this young guy, like you said, rookie of the year last year, to kind of find it and give some life to them boys over in the Bronx. But so I'll go lukewarm with that. Did you see what Gary Sheffield Jr. said about Marcus Stroman?
No.
Gary Sheffield Jr. tweeted out.
Didn't even know there was a Gary Sheffield Jr., for being honest.
I'm pretty sure it was Gary Sheffield Jr., but he tweeted, he does like a little bit of hosting, I'm pretty sure, on one of the networks and everything like that.
Okay.
And he said, give it 2 hours until Marcus Stroman posts an Instagram story to remind us all that he's still rich and he's okay after getting released. And without missing a beat, Stroman did that exact thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good for Marcus. Good to see he's okay. That's Mike Stud's buddy right there.
Yeah, right there.
Duke guy. But yeah, I mean, it's also kind of a tough ask for Gil. I mean, it's his first start of the season. What do? You are trying to avoid a sweep, but maybe he can find it over the next month and a half or whatever the fuck it is, 2 months. Okay, anyway, you saw the 2026 All-Star game in Philly. Cool. The 2027 All-Star game in Wrigley.
Cool. Very cool. 2 great places to have it back to back. Philly's going to be electric, and Wrigley with all that history, that's going to be super cool also.
I think those are 2 good places. The only thing I'll say about this, now every time there's an All-Star game discussion or it's around the All-Star time, you could bet your sweet ass that next year's All-Star game, they're going to bring up the whole, should it be an exhibition or should they play for something? It comes up every year. I'm okay with it being exhibition, but also this will be now 3 straight All-Star games in National League ballpark. So you can't play for something and give this one team advantage 3 straight fucking years. Like you're giving them last at bats every single year.
Okay, that's what okay. I know what you mean. I get that. If they were playing for something, they would have to alternate. I agree.
They would have to alternate, and not that they did in the past. They haven't in the past. I remember.
But I think it's sick. I think Philly, like I said, is going to show out, and I think Wrigley is going to be a really, really cool place to play as well. Plus, you'll probably have some notables who knows who's going to. There will probably be some All-Stars for Philly next year. And then the Cubs, the way they're looking, especially if they re-sign Tucker, they're definitely going to have some All-Stars there as well. So a lot of home guys representing.
Yeah, like home superstar is always fun.
Yeah.
How about this? I just wrote this one in like 2 minutes ago, but I just remembered. Clase and Luis Ortiz, I think they cleaned out their lockers, didn't they? You saw that? Cool or not cool?
Cool.
Yeah,
cool. There's it's real boring in Cleveland. They got to gamble. They got to get their juices flowing. They're losing a lot of games. They need to make some money. They ain't getting bonuses now. They need some excitement. Just jazz it up out there.
I like it. Okay. Did you see this? Rob Manfred downplays the altercation with Harper. He's saying it was not all that significant.
Not cool because you're lying, Rob. You have an ego.
Mad.
We know you have a little fucking ego because guess what? Everybody's got an ego, especially when you're a commissioner of baseball and you act the way you act with your streaming rights and shit. Yeah, we know you got an ego, Rob. Yeah, we know that.
So mad.
Yeah, he's definitely. But if he gives him a like suspension or anything like that, or a slap on the wrist or something, that's not going to look good on his part. So he has to play it cool.
Yeah,
which
Bryce
makes it
Bryce
not
is one
cool.
of the golden boys around the league. Yeah. You got to be like, not that like Bryce can do whatever the fuck he wants, but like you can't just do that, Bryce, at the same time. But what's he gonna do? Hey, Bryce, like you're like you can't do that to the game. If you really like the game, Rob, then you have to let Bryce Harper play. So sorry. Okay, that was Rob Manfred. Okay, so from one Rob to another, Rob Thompson. He gives his number 59 jersey to Yohan Duran. Because 59 had a special connection, or Yohan had a special connection to that number because he always wore 59, but 59 in Philly was Rob Thompson.
Cool. I know Rob, I don't think Rob really gives much of a shit about his numbers. Hold on. Hold on. Yeah, give me a second. I'm gonna have to come back.
Okay. Well, you sound good now. Well, yeah, I don't think managers in general give a fuck about their numbers. I mean, managers don't even have to wear the jerseys anymore. Like, fucking, I know we just shit on Boone, but Boone doesn't even wear a fucking jersey. He wears a cut-off fucking hoodie half the fucking time. So whatever. 59 jersey goes to Yohan Duran. That's nice. You want to, welcome your new player in. Nice. Let's see what Sean has to say about the topic.
Every single time Mikey FaceTimes me, that shit happens. So I'm gonna fucking kill Mikey next time. But I think it's cool to welcome it, especially just to welcome in the new guy. You know, you got to have nerves, even when you know you're one of the the greatest in the league right now at your position. You got to have some nerves, and I think that helps a little bit. So good on Rob.
Good on Rob. Okay, Yohan Duran walk out the bank.
Cool, so fucking cool. Did you see the videos of it?
Yeah, it's sick as shit,
dude. It was so fucking cool, and I think it's gonna look even sicker come October.
I love it. How about Ryan Helsley walk out in Queens?
Fuck him. Not cool. Ryan Helsley's a wannabe. Fuck him.
Decent, but not as cool as Yohan. And I think we're going to talk about some of these debuts in a second. I think they made their debut on the same night, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was both Friday night at home. They both made their debut. So it's like, okay, you see Yohan's doing it, and then you see Helsley. It's like, it's not that Helsley's like god-awful, but it's like after, you did it the same night as Yohan, and Yohan at the bank it hits a little different than fucking Helsley in Queens.
Yeah, it's fucking Queens. Who cares? Who gives a shit about Citi Field? It might just because I'm on Philly's Twitter and I'm not like on like Mets Twitter or anything like that, but I've only been seeing videos of Duran's walkout and not Helsley's.
Yeah, well, yeah, no one's talking about Helsley's. Like, I kind of like try to see it just because like I wanted to like make sure we knew we had their facts straight when we shit on it. But yeah, it's right. It's correct that no one's playing it and everyone wants Yohan. And by the way, the Mets lost that game. That's probably part of it too. And I don't think it was a save situation. Like I think it was a hold. Maybe.
Probably just getting him in there.
Like get him in, and I think it was. I don't know if it was the 8th or 9th. The game went 10. I don't know where Diaz. Like I don't follow them. I can't follow them. That's enough Mets talk. Get them off the screen. How about this? Pat Murphy's pocket pancake.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. That's a cool thing. Just whipping out a pancake and taking a bite out of it. Pocket pancake.
Yeah. I think everyone should do the pocket pancake. It's. I like Pat Murphy for quite some time now.
Yeah.
Probably for a few months. He was like well before the pocket pancake. He was on MLB Network, and he was talking to Brian Kenny of all people. And I'm not like the biggest Brian Kenny fan because he's like one of those like sabermetric guys, and it's like, all right, Brian, relax. And Pat Murphy is just a straight up dude. So they were kind of talking. You kind of could tell in that interview. I didn't know much about Pat Murphy, but you could tell that he was a dude, and Brian Kenny was a dork. And he was nice. He wasn't being he wasn't being like a dick or anything. But you could tell one guy was a dork that didn't make his high school team, and the other guy was a freaking professional and a stud. Pat Murphy's a dog. He's a stud. He's a dude, and now he's got a pocket pancake. That's the ultimate dude thing. I feel like.
Yeah, that's sick. That's freaking sick.
I'm gonna start doing pocket pancakes now. Okay, let's get to the real chunk here because there might be a lot to say about this. Okay, let's just start with at the most bare form. Speedway Classic. Okay, cute idea. But then they get rained out and have to continue on Sunday. The game only went like half an inning on Saturday. It gets rained out. They're playing through puddles. They're playing through a fucking tsunami, whatever. On continue Sunday, kind of kills some life. Kind of not cool. Also, they ran out of food. Not cool. They were doing bunless hot dogs and nachos with no cheese.
Yeah, cheeseless nachos. Just chips. You're just giving out chips at that point.
Just chips on like a fucking in like a cardboard box. Also, how'd you feel about this Tim McGraw Pitbull crossover?
So I'm gonna break this up into 4 parts. We're gonna break it up into 4 parts.
Break it down.
Speedway Classic.
Cool
idea. We'll give it cool.
I'll say cute.
I'll give it cool. They get rained out and have to continue on Saturday. Not cool, but the MLB cannot control the weather. Or can they? They cannot control the weather. Also, they ran out of food. Not fucking cool. It's how do you? I don't even know how to take that apart and dissect it. How the fuck do you run out of food?
Firefest, baby. They did a Firefest.
You know how many people are going to be here. You're selling the fucking tickets. How do you not prep for that?
It's a shit ton of people, but it's not like so. Bristol's big as it is. Bristol's capacity is maybe double of what they actually got. I think there was like 85,000, and maybe doubles a stretch. But if it was 85,000 people there, which is like a record for most,
I'd say like 3/4 maybe.
Yes, because I think the record. I mean, what the actual capacity might be like 100, a little under 150.
Yeah.
So like, okay. Either way, like, do you not sell at Bristol Motor Speedway? Like, do you not sell hot dogs as it? Like, you should know the number to satisfy that amount of people. I feel like that's a known thing, and to do that, I don't know. That's a Fire Festival thing. That's fire.
And I don't think I've never gone to a baseball game and not gotten a hot dog.
Yeah, who's gonna
You,
not go?
you,
People went out of their way to go to this game, probably.
yeah, get hotel rooms, all that shit. Like they were like, this is pretty cool. Before I get into my next point, I want to talk about Tim McGraw Pitbull crossover matchup. Electric. That's cool.
Oh, you liked it?
I love Tim McGraw. Tim McGraw.
Sure.
I was listening to Tim McGraw on the way home today. And Pitbull just loves America, it seems like.
Yeah.
And so if he loves America, I love Pitbull. Guess what? I do. He loves America.
Good.
But before MLB hit home and hit, like, pun aside, a home run with the Field of Dreams the first year. That was one of the most electric, like, kind of cutesy little things they could have done. Such a great idea. Had a great ending. Was not a great ending for you, but like for everybody else for baseball, was sick. It was cool to watch. It was fun. And now they just keep trying to do these things. Like, I mean, like playing in England at the soccer stadium, that's still like grow the game, cool idea, bring it to Europe and things like that. And I think this isn't a bad idea, but when you miss this badly, like your vendors are running out of food, you're trying to play through a tsunami and things like that. You sometimes have to take a step back and be like, where do we draw the line in a sense? Like they could have just left it at the Field of Dreams and had people play that every single year.
Yeah, an annual thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And I thought that would have been awesome. Like, I hate that they got rid of that. I think that is an insanely cool idea.
I think this should be the biggest, like, slap in the face of like almost like a less is more type of thing. If you did Field of Dreams, I don't know what the capacity was for Field of Dreams, but I feel like it was more of an intimate setting, and that could be really good for what you're trying to accomplish. But they're trying to sell these tickets. They're trying to like do like go big. It was literally Fire Festival, the baseball version. Because what are you trying to do? You're trying to do almost so much where it just ends up crumbling down, and you like overshoot. Like you can't compensate for what you're trying to accomplish. And it's almost like if you just did like a few really great things instead of trying to do like a million good things, sometimes that just hits better. So maybe less is more. I'm totally okay with an annual Field of Dreams. Maybe it's a little more intimate. Maybe not selling as many tickets, but it's going to be, I think it would hit. I think it would be a home run, and it would be like be kind of like this cool thing that's like a 10 out of 10 instead of trying to do like a 15 different 6 out of 10s. Because guess what? You're overshooting, and then you can't live. It's like a low ceiling thing.
Like you got like Field of Dreams, like even like pay homage to like maybe like the Sandlot in
Yeah,
some
do a
way
Sandlot
too.
thing.
Like do like a Sandlot game. Like that to me doesn't seem like rocket science. Yeah, I mean,
that's what the A's have been doing at Bull Durham all year. Where's their fucking
or what? Give me a bench warmers. Let's get 3 old guys out there against some a double A team.
Yeah, we need a guy in a helmet, a guy who's afraid of the sun. Give me a guy who drinks lotion.
Yeah, and then a fat guy who's a little bit weird as their coach.
Yeah.
But like you said, less is more. Field of Dreams every year would have been sick. I also heard like people were complaining because like transportation there sucked. They couldn't get to the game. Getting out of the game was horrible. Like
the whole field is a track, and how can you not transport guys? Nah.
Yeah,
I don't know how it is. I'm assuming it's like this big, gigantic complex. You know,
it's supposed to be. I mean,
so that's like it kind of makes it more inconvenient. I feel like.
I can't see where the things got lost in translation here, because Bristol Motor Speedway is it's a big event too. Like they're used to this. What the fuck happened?
Cheeseless nachos, the fuck?
Yeah.
And hot dogs aren't even like hard, man. Like you just put them on a roller. It's like you can be like, what do they take? A minute to fucking cook?
I could pump up hot dogs for them right now. I mean, shit. Just give me a roller.
Give someone a raw hot dog. Just leave it in the sun. It's gonna cook. Like, what the fuck? But I don't know if it was the hot dogs or the buns or.
It was the buns. I mean, I don't know either.
But that's just like, come on. How do you have more hot dogs than buns? That's like inventory 101 right there.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. Somebody really dropped the ball and is definitely getting fired today.
Well, here was a good event. Were you here for this one?
No, I missed it. It was Friday.
This was Friday. So J-Roll's induction into the Phillies Wall of Fame. Cool. Really quick before you take this one on, the fact it took this long, fuck off. I mean, why wasn't he in already? Also, Utley, Howard, Hamels. Let's get them in too, Phillies. It's not like they won a World Series or anything.
Yeah, I can't fathom it. So there's actually this guy on Twitter right now, before I get into my opinions on it, who is legitimately his whole entire since Friday has just been tweeting out Jimmy Rollins stats compared to other Hall of Fame shortstops.
Okay.
And now I'm on board with how the fuck is Jimmy Rollins not in the Hall of Fame?
Whoa.
Because if you put up his stats next to a lot of these other shortstops in the Hall of Fame, everybody around him, whether it's higher or lower than him, is in the Hall of Fame. Whether it's triples, doubles, hits, stolen bases. The only thing he doesn't have to his resume is home runs. He did it on the glove hand side. He did it on the defensive side. And yeah, maybe towards the end of his career, he didn't have that great of an ending, right? He didn't have as gracious of an ending as some of these other guys did. But now I'm full on the train. Look him up. His name's Josh Foley. He's been freaking awesome. He's been tweeting it out all since Friday about how great Jimmy Rollins has been over the past time. And I mean, I think he deserves to he 100% deserves to be in the Wall of Fame, but deserves to be in the Hall of Fame now too.
But what's the Wall of Fame? Does that mean his number gets retired or no? That's a different thing?
No number retired. I don't think
I don't think that's what it was, right? It was just like his Phillies Wall of Fame, so you get honored. But I would retire his number, Utley, Howard, and Hamels. I know you're going to get to that, but I would not only put them in the Wall of Fame, but retire their fucking numbers. I'm surprised it's taken this long. But really quick on the Hall of Fame thing, I've always said if there's one guy from that 08 Phillies team to get in, Jimmy has the best shot. However, I wouldn't be shocked if he got in this past year, especially after that point, if people start to talk about it. The next Hall of Fame class isn't that great. We actually haven't talked about it, but since the Hall of Fame kind of came out and the guys got inducted on like last week or whatever the fuck it was, the next class always comes out. We didn't really talk about it at all, but Hamels is on that list. And I don't know if Hamels is actually one of the headliners of the next class. I don't think Hamels is a Hall of Famer per se, but the fact that he's at least of the first ballot guys, and the fact that he's like one of the headliners, one of the bigger names on the first ballot guys, is just like, ugh. So maybe 2026 ballot, you're going to see like guys like Jimmy Rollins and Carlos Beltran, because I don't know who that class really jumps out at you for that next kind of class.
So going back to it, J-Roll inducted to the Phillies Wall of Fame, really cool. The fact that it took this long, not so cool. Also, Utley, Howard, and Hamels, not cool that they're not in yet, because they should be in. They were electric Phillies. Ryan Howard won a fucking MVP and was a Silver Slugger, I don't know how many years for them, just absolutely demolishing the baseball. There was nobody better at hitting than him during that one stretch. Like, you threw it anywhere near him and it was just getting tanked. He obviously got hurt and had a little bit of a down, but also won a World Series, and he was one of the reasons they won a World Series. Hamels, World Series MVP. How the fuck is he not in yet? I mean, the Phillies are notorious for this. They wait forever, this, that, and the third. Give these guys their flowers. Let them enjoy it, especially, I mean, Utley too. Utley hates the Mets. We hate the Mets. Everybody hates the Mets. Give Utley his time. Power hitting second baseman, not many of them around back then. And he was, the Silver Fox.
Yep. Yes, what a silver fox he is. Also, really quick on Hamels, 24-year-old kid who won the World Series that year, led him to that World. He was the ace.
Yeah, he was the ace. He was the number one.
Their staff was a fine staff, but you look at the 9, 10, 11, those staffs were way better staffs, and Hamels really was like that dude in 08. So good for him.
Dude. He was freaking awesome. I mean, they got to give these guys their flowers. I don't want them to wait any longer. I would love to see them in the Wall of Fame just because they deserve it. They deserve it.
Yeah, agreed.
And all of Philly loves him.
And good for
Philly
Jimmy.
Loves him.
And it's cool to do it on different days, give everybody their special day. So today was Jimmy's day. I mean, when's Ryan's day? Where's Chase's day?
Jimmy the first to get in, though. I do like that. Out of all the four, I do like Jimmy being the first to get in.
But to me, it's just those four. I'm not putting Victorino. I'm not doing Worth. I'm not doing fucking Lidge. I'm not doing fucking Carlos Ruiz. It's those four.
Yeah, I would agree.
Okay. This is a dumb one. I don't know if you saw this. Bench is clear in Boston following intentional balk from Hector Neris in Houston. I don't know if that's the important part, but to me, like, dumb, who cares? And only because, like, so 99% of the time the bench is clear. What the fuck
nobody
happened?
does anything.
No one
Nobody
does shit.
anything.
So I think it had something to do with like one of the coaches talking shit on Neris, and he chirped back. Was this the second time we saw a coach in Boston gonna go? What? There was a time I thought
Angels
in Boston, right?
I think so.
I don't know who initiated that. Either way, it was one of the base coaches for Boston, I think, was chirping at Neris when he was on the mound. He was walking off. Who the fuck knows? And who the fuck cares? Anytime you hear like bench is clear, your ears perk up and it's like, oh, bench is clear. And then 99% of the time, nothing happens. It's like the dumbest thing. So to me, it's like not cool, but not because like we're promoting like don't get into fights. It's like not cool because the fights don't actually break out. It's just guys chirp, like they're mad enough to chirp, but they're mad enough to like do anything.
I think it's so dumb. Like, especially
Why
if
clear them?
like if the bullpen start freaking running out. Like, are you kidding me?
And if they really care, they just beat each other up like in center field when they're out of the bullpen.
Yeah.
They run all the way back just to jog all the way back to the.
It's stupid, and everybody's like, "Oh, they're standing up for their guys." No, they're not. Nobody's doing. You walk out there and you stand there and you look like idiots. I mean, like, if you're actually if they're gonna clear, I want like a Cincinnati, the Cincinnati Reds. What was that guy's name? Amir Garrett beating the shit 1 out of 5. Like it should actually mean something when bench is clear. But I mean, like, they were mad. Hector Neris is mad at Trevor Story for like stealing signs or whatever like that. And guess what?
So he intentionally balked the movement.
Yeah, so he intentionally balked on the third, and then he was jarring at the third base coach. Like, this is the type of brand of baseball you play, yada yada yada. And it's like, it's kind of ironic that it's coming from the Astros for sign stealing, this, that, whatever. But Hector Neris is also a fucking idiot.
Former Phil,
yeah, and he was horrible there too, and now he's apparently good on the Astros.
Oh, was he part of the team that beat him in 22? Fuck.
Yeah, he was. He's such a dick. He's such a little dick.
But well, I mean, if he was on the Phillies, Astros probably would have won anyway because he would have been blowing fucking.
Exactly.
No, was he good? Was he ever? No, he's good now.
Is he good now? I think so. I think he's actually had some pretty good years now with them.
His ERA is 6 right now.
Oh, so maybe not this year, but I mean, in the past he has. I'm pretty sure.
I guess he gave up a run in that outing too. That appearance, I should say, in Boston when he pitched. But yeah, weird shit. I don't even know if there's like a happy medium because I understand these guys are competitors and then they start to chirp and like they get passionate, they get mad about shit and they're just like, rah, and they want to like start beating up in your face and showing emotion. Like, I'm not mad at that, but it's just like everyone's got to come out. Can't you have like a few designated people come out and just be like, all right, we all know nothing's going to happen here. You said what you had to say. Let's just separate and continue to play the game. Like, I don't know.
It's just pathetic. Like, you're going to jaw and then just walk off the field at this point. I mean, what else are you going to do? Nobody's going to throw hands or anything.
No one does. Yeah. It's like kind of a prolonged. And it's like, if you don't know, if you're like a casual, you don't really know the game and you're not like, you haven't caught on by now. It's like, oh, bench is clear. Oh my gosh. Bullpen's empty. Blah, blah, blah. And then you just like, you tune in and it's just like, people just like, all right.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like nothing.
People are out there talking to their buddies and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's like a time to mingle, basically.
Like, they should bring beers out next time and just sit down.
Seriously, they're like, one time I think I saw fucking Jeter and fucking Garcia Parra comparing like sunflower seeds. I made that up, but like you would think that's what they're going on. It's like, hey, you want some seeds? I have a Cool Ranch. Do you have a cracked pepper? You know, like you just mingle. It's stupid.
I'm actually kind of curious when last big baseball.
It probably was the Amir Garrett thing.
Fight.
Nothing's bigger than the Amir Garrett thing. That was huge. He literally just sprinted off the mound and then.
There was Tim Anderson, Jose Ramirez. Was that before or after that?
I don't remember. Around the same time. Maybe there was too many.
Down goes Anderson. One of the greatest calls of all time, too.
Yeah,
that was Tim Anderson's like last like big thing in the MLB was him getting knocked out by Jose Ramirez.
We've actually had could be the Tim Anderson show today because we talked about the Field of Dreams earlier, and he was kind of like the hero of that. And now this. Wow, Tim Anderson.
His highs and lows.
Yeah, his talking points are pretty fucking high. I'll give him that. But he hasn't had a talking point probably since then.
I don't even know if he's in the league anymore. I think he's on the Angels.
He got DFA'd by that. He's a free agent. Anyway, let's talk about another like fucking one-hit wonder right here. Fan hitting a home run for the Portland Pickles. Which is cool. But what's not cool is the pitcher who he hit it off of. That dude. So is this minor league shit?
It's minor league. I don't know who the Portland Pickles even are, but I saw it. That dude didn't just hit it. Like, he got a hold of that fucking thing. It didn't just get out.
I think he worked a 3-2 count too. And then whatever pitcher, like this pitcher is a lose-lose for him. Like, he has to, if he gets him out, it's like, okay, like you're a fucking, if it's minor league, I think it's minor league.
I'm going to look at it real quick.
I don't know what league this is, but assuming it's minor league, like you're probably a professional fucking pitcher. You better get this guy out. But if you don't, like, you're fucked, dude. So whoever this pitcher is.
Oh, it's like one of those summer league teams.
Okay.
Like that, like I guess that college kids play in and stuff like that in the summers. Like, you know, like the Cape Cod League?
Yeah. So it's
this is like out west.
Well, the Portland Pickles allowed a fan to come in and taking at bat. He made the most of it, to say the least. But the pitcher who he hit it off of, that's like the not cool version. It's like cool for the kid, but the pitcher, like, he's probably trying to stay loose and maybe make a name for himself, maybe get signed by a minor league team, or maybe he is part of a minor league team. This is his summer. No, I guess minor league's still going on. But you get the point. He's trying to like do something and continue his baseball career, most likely. This doesn't help. So not cool for that regard. But cool for the kid. Cool for the
That's
kid.
really freaking cool.
Sucks for the pitcher. Cool for the kid. So we get into our new threads, our debuts.
Debuts, yeah.
By the way, Portland Pickles, they're fucking, if their like jerseys sales didn't go up after that, because like Portland Pickles, like that's kind of sick.
That's a cool name. It's a good name.
Good name, the Pickles. Go Pickles. Maybe it's not.
I'd get a Portland Pickles jersey.
I would now that they're relevant. Not a hat though. Come on, it would be fun. The jersey. Okay, new threads. The ones that we took note of, I feel like have been relievers, and it was the deadline of the reliever.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're gonna see some. Not a lot of starters got moved. I think we'll see some to start the week. We'll see some starters in their new threads, but I don't think we've seen any yet. And we've definitely seen a lot of relievers over the weekend. That's what matters the most moving down the stretch, how these relievers can add depth to their respective bullpens. Don't know what notable offensive pieces have made names for themselves in their new threads. But in terms of this weekend, there's been good, there's been bad. Let's start with the bad. And let's go to the Yankees, because guess what? Everything's bad for them right now. Welcome to the Yankees. Jake Bird, David Bednar, Camilo Doval, you douchebags. all their debuts. It was a good game. How much of a douchebags are they? It was a good game. It actually was a pretty good game up until they came in. The Yankees were offense was there. They were having some like lead changes and some comebacks. I thought there was going to be a spark. I saw McMahon get like a go-ahead ribby single. Volpe had some notable hits. And then Bird comes in, only gets one out in his Yankee debut because of 4 and runs and a homer. Bednar comes in. Does he clean up the mess? No. He goes 1.2 innings, 2 earned, also gives up a homer. They have the lead. After the bullpen blows it, they have a lead. Doval blows the save, though, gives up an earned run and only gets 1 out of like whatever inning it was. Maybe it was extras. Maybe it was whatever the fuck. But he gets a blown save and a loss. That was all in the same game. That was their Yankees debut, and they gave up a combined 4, 5, 6, 7 earned runs in their debut, and that's from like the 7th inning on. So that's like 7 runs from like what? Maybe I think it was like the 7th inning on, or I think what they want 7, 8, 9 or whatever it was. Yeah, from the 7th inning on, whatever 7 runs combined by the guys in new threads. Terrible.
Did you see the Yankees announcer? He was talking about Bednar and like how he's had a rough stretch before he came over to the Yankees. He had like a 7 ERA over the past like couple games or whatnot, and then he goes, "Yeah, well, maybe he's playing some winning baseball now with a winning organization, and his luck's going to change now." The next pitch, Yaba.
Yikes. Also, Jose Caballero made a costly error. That didn't help either. So there's another guy in new threads stinking it up.
That was rough.
Very bad.
Rough to look at.
And Bednar, you want to root for him. He went to fucking Lafayette. You want to root for him, but
I think I think you're gonna be fine. I think that was like you guys had that was some pretty bad baseball that got played down there in Miami. And I think they're going to be fine ultimately, because we talked about it when those 3 coming in as your 7, 8, 9, they should close. They 100% should close the door. And I think they will. You just give them a little bit.
Yeah. You throw like Weaver and Williams in the mix too.
Yeah.
Like, you want to believe that it's good. I mean, I don't even hate Tim Hill's been fine this year. Like you want to believe that they could do shit, but Jake Bird did end up pitching the next day also. And he had like a scoreless inning, I think.
Yeah.
So good for him. Bednar and Doval have yet to pitch. So maybe we'll see. They'll be available tonight. And in this Texas series, we'll see them. But we'll see. I mean, another thing is they're all National League guys. Maybe the Marlins have seen them this year. I don't know. Maybe the Rangers. You can go that route. Coming over from the National League, maybe like the Rangers don't know them as well. That's just such bullshit though. Like I'm just trying to think of like anything here to like whatever. But ugly stuff. And I like Doval realistically, and I don't know if I love Bednar and the boys, but like Bad stuff. Okay, let's change up the topic. Let's go to something more positive. This is your guy, Yohan Duran. Welcome to Philly. He's an instant fan favorite. 4-pitch save, huh? How about that on Friday?
4-pitch save on Friday. Got a save last night. Topped out at 103 on his final pitch.
Woo.
Philly's finally got a closer. And this is why I'm so pissed that Jose Alvarado's fat ass couldn't stay off of Ozempic. Because 8-9, Jose Alvarado to Duran would have fed families. That would have been disgusting.
Yeah.
But now we don't get that. But let's talk about the positive. Yohan Duran, beast. He's a beast. It's plain and simple.
And he's got the people going with the, making it hot. Whatever this thing is. Also, here's something that I haven't seen anyone talk about. If you watch his save on Friday, his first Philly save, that was the 3-4-5 hitters. He did a 4-pitch save against the 3-4-5 hitters. So awesome. And that's the Tigers too. I know maybe the Tigers have been playing their best ball. They're 500 in their last 10. It's a little different Tigers team than how they started the season, but still a fantastic team. Also, the Phillies are at home. You have to seal the deal, especially when you're neck and neck with the Mets. You have to seal the deal. Who knows how these games go if you don't have a lockdown closer? Are the Phils, do they stand alone in first place right now? If you trust Romano for the 9th, I fucking wouldn't trust him for the 9th, right? So, to have a lockdown guy get 2 saves in that much-needed series against a first-place Tigers team at home, all those things considered, he's an instant legend. I should say fan favorite, but
he is legend. Let's see how he does in October, and he might become a legend. It all comes down nowadays. It all comes down to what, for me at least, what these guys do in October. Yeah, that's what it depends on.
Let's go to Helsley, another reliever here. Again, it was pretty much a lot of relievers making their debuts that were the most notable because we talked about Duran making his entrance. Well, Helsley made an entrance, but it wasn't as cool as Duran's. Not nearly. Basically, it shouldn't even be in the same sentence. The only reason it is because it's like they come out to a song. That's where the comparison ends. Is that they just run out of the bullpen with a song playing. That's the comparison ends because Duran is all the way here. Helsley's not that cool. But Mets suck. Helsley in his Mets debut, though, 1 inning, 3 strikeouts. So he did strike out the side. Mets lose the game, though, and they lost the series. Awesome stuff.
Yeah, Helsley's a beast. He is.
He's good. Mason Miller, though, your buddy, Padres debut was electric. Did you see this? You talk about a fastball, Duran fastball, 103. Mason Miller was chucking fucking gas. Now, he did give up maybe a couple hits, and I don't know, but no runs, gets a hold, and they win. So that's cool. Inning, 1 strikeout, 2 hits, it gets a hold.
That's another pen that's going to look unbelievable. That's another pen right there. That's good. That's October ready.
Yeah, and I guess Mason Miller's an 8th inning guy now. So
yeah, hey, whatever. I feel like you got to sit both of them down, and I feel like both Mason Miller's younger. He can move a little bit. He wouldn't mind moving to the 8th.
Yeah, and Suarez is the longer tenure guy. You want to stay loyal to your guy. He was an all-star this year, and Jason Adam for the 7th. Crazy shit.
Mm-hmm.
That was all Friday stuff. Saturday, Kyle Finnegan makes his Tigers debut. 1 in the 3rd inning, strikeout, gets a save. So that was the only game that the Tigers won against Philly. Was also Finnegan's debut. He secured a win for Skubal.
He's going to look good for them. He looks good. He looks good for them out of the back end of the bullpen, and that was a very good trade by them. They have some guy they can go to now, and kind of can rely on, I guess you could say.
Because prior to him, I feel like it was like bullpen by committee, and now they have like a kind of a set guy. So bullpen role is a little bit more established. And Will Vest, not a bad reliever, he was like their guy prior to Finnegan. If they move him to the 8th inning role, now Finnegan's there for the 9th, not bad. Canley's still there too. And then Griffin Jacks, your buddy, he made his Rays debut yesterday. I know all these relievers, it gets boring, but I think when we do like our look ahead, we'll see some starters. Like we'll see Dustin May on Wednesday, if that means anything. But anyway, 1 inning and an earned run for Griffin Jacks' Rays debut. Rays get shut out, lose the series to the Dodgers.
Yeah, Griffin Jacks is going to be good. I'm pretty sure he's young. So, this was kind of a good move for the Rays to get an arm. Hopefully they can secure for a little bit longer than they mostly hold on to people. But we'll see. We'll see where that ends up.
And didn't they get a starter too? Who did the Rays bring in? Adrian Hauser. We'll see him this week too at some point. He might pitch today. So there's a new thread for you. And then how about your boy Harrison Bader? What did he do this weekend?
A whole lot of fucking nothing. and you know what's funny? Every single time Harrison Bader's name gets brought up, they don't talk about his hitting. They talk about his fielding. And guess what? We already had fucking fielding. So I don't understand why this was. Oh, Dave, you're killing me. You're killing me.
Yeah,
And
but
I'm not gonna listen. I'm not gonna give Harrison Bader so much shit for his first series. He had to face Tariq Skubal on Saturday. Charlie Morton looked good last night, even though he hasn't looked good before. Like I'm not gonna give him too much slack for his first series wearing a Phillies uniform.
yeah.
But I also am Harrison Bader's number one enemy right now. I fucking hate him.
Well,
And
here's the thing with Harrison. Like, he does have a gold glove. He doesn't have a silver slugger, but that doesn't mean like he's a bad offensive piece. He's having a decent season.
yeah, he's having a decent season, but will he keep it up? I'm very reluctant to say yes because I don't think he's fucking gonna. And the fact that Weston fucking Wilson is still playing post deadline and Max Kepler is still playing post deadline, I need to have a talk with Dave. I need to have a talk with John Middleton because we got a guy in the minors named Justin Crawford who has been fucking killing it this year. Just bring him up. Now it's almost becoming too late. If we want this guy to play in the postseason, he needs to see some MLB pitching like now, like right fucking now.
Yeah.
So
I wonder
I'm
if
extremely worried.
When the rosters expand in the postseason time, I wonder if he gets the call, or even before that, got his feet wet a little bit. But maybe he's not a guy that really gets at bats. He's just a pinch hitter and a defensive replacement type of guy at times.
But we don't need defense that much. Like if you throw, like Marsh actually hasn't looked.
Well, and the only time you do, Castellanos has a hissy fit about it.
Exactly, I know. So it's like I can't. I don't even want to talk about it right now because the fact that Dave couldn't go get a guy to, we're still playing Weston Wilson out left is absolutely shocking to me.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And Max Kepler's still in the lineup.
Well, let's wait till Baum comes back and then see what they do.
Exactly. Bohm needs to come back. But also, here's another thing that was extremely glaring. Schwarber he had a 3-0 count last night, gets the green light, hits a double, so you got a man on second, no outs, or 1 out. Man on second, no outs. They intentionally walk Bryce Harper to get to JT Realmuto. Now, granted, JT's been having a good year, but I mean, not a good year, good month. JT's been hot recently. We talked about it in the past. But the fact that you are still walking Bryce Harper to get to his protection in JT, that's very concerning.
Yeah,
that is extremely concerning.
You do kind of want to solidify it. Like Harrison Bader, not a bad outfielder, fine, and you want to make sure that you don't give up outs, especially in the postseason. Every out is so precious. So to have a Gold Glover out there, cool. But like to your point, you want to also when you want to check off multiple boxes with a move, or at least do multiple moves to also make sure that you have a solidified guy that could deepen a lineup at the same time. Maybe it's Baum, but I don't know.
Yeah, maybe if Baum. It's insane that they're walking the 3-hitter to intentionally get to. Now, Bryce is that good, but JT also has like the highest ground ball rate on the team to hit in the double plays and stuff like that.
And what the fuck is Topper doing? He likes him in the 4-hole?
I don't know. I mean, maybe you throw Cassie there. That way it's like a 50-50 shot. You don't like Cassie's so up and down.
Yeah, but at least he's more prone to the long ball. Like, I don't know if you would intentionally walk Harper to get to Cassie. I could see why they would do it to JT though.
Yeah, I would 100% see that. But
like Cassie has 60 ribbies on the season with 15 homers. And I love Real Muto, but those aren't going to be his. He has 39 ribbies, 7 homers.
Yeah, so you throw Cassie there, and Cassie's so 50-50 that it makes him actually looking like he's having a good year. Because you never know what you're getting with him when he comes up to the plate.
Did you see the video of Castellanos? Some dude's like uncle or whatever was in like the hospital, and they filmed like Castellanos hitting a home run, and they pan over like the guy on the hospital. But he's really, I shouldn't laugh at that. He's really banged up. That guy's really banged up. But it's like he was like, "Thanks, Casty."
Yeah, that was pretty wild. But that's what I wanted to bring up with this Bader thing was we still have Weston Wilson playing. We still have Bryce getting pitched around, and come October, people are going to do that. They're going to pitch around Harper. He needs some sort of protection. I don't know if that's moving him further up in the lineup and getting Schwarber behind him, but then they pitch around Schwarber, and you need Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber are a 1A, 1B when it comes to best hitters. Mm-hmm. Schwarber's unconscious right now. So the fact that you have Bryce behind him making them pitch to Kyle is a good thing, right? Because he's hot. So we'll see how it goes.
Let's do a look ahead, and we'll continue, I guess, to take some notes on these new thread guys, because we'll do a little look ahead and then we'll pose a question as to like which these new faces and new places is going to mean the most down the stretch. I mean, early candidate seems like Durant because he's been great, but we can shoot the shit about that in a second. But let's look at the look ahead. We kind of highlighted some notables here. Yankees at Texas. That is fucking notable. Both teams kind of lost where they were in the standings. When we did like a standings check on maybe was it Wednesday or Thursday, these teams were different. Texas was tied for second with Seattle. Now they stand alone in third. Yankees stood alone in second. Now they stand alone in third. Now they play each other. This is in Texas. Battle of the lefties to start the series. Fried versus Corbett.
Yeah, then Will Warren versus Evaldi and Rodon versus Leiter. You're going to see some good pitching, but this is a win-win for both teams. I mean, a must-win for both teams, which is we're getting to that time of the year, man. August, September, where these teams they need these series become extremely important. So the Yankees got to win, and Texas has to win also because we're going to look at it. I think the Mariners got the White Sox. And like the Boston's got Kansas City, who's been struggling. I don't know who the Blue Jays have.
Colorado. Let's look at it. Like I agree with you. So good pitching in the series. You want to see Fried and the Yankees beat up on Corbin. I don't think Yankees stand a chance against Evaldi because they get exposed against good pitching. And then you want to see them explode off a Jack Leiter with Rodon on the bump. But meanwhile, like you said, Blue Jays at Colorado and Kansas City is at Boston. So Blue Jays are away, but they have Colorado. This is the first place team in the division, Yankees. The Yankees have the hardest matchup out of the three teams that they have to worry about most in their own division. Because Kansas City, they're 500 right now, and they're coming to Boston. Boston is currently on, a 5-game win streak? So you want to think Boston can get it done. Blue Jays are going to Colorado. We all know Colorado stinks. Toronto's the first-place team. Yankees are the only team facing they're away and facing the only over 500 team currently. So, I mean, this division has the makings to really change, or it doesn't change at all, and every team takes care of business and the standings stay exactly the same. Because if the Yankees continue this, they'll be a third-place team. If Boston continues, they'll be in second. And if the Blue Jays take care of business, which they should do in Colorado, they'll maintain their spot. They'll maintain first place no matter what, but you get the point. Well,
Blue Jays should be a done deal.
If the Yankees get swept in the Boston sweep, they'll be tied for first, but that seems crazy.
But Blue Jays should be a done deal. And you're like Kansas City, but they're not even getting that good of pitching when they go to Kansas City. Like they're getting Falter, Ryan
Bergert.
Bergert?
Yeah.
Okay. And then Waka. And Bello has looked unbelievable as of late. Crochet, obviously. Yeah. I actually saw
Bello been good?
I wanted to bring up Karabis. Karabis was given a huge shout out to Giolito.
Wow, good for you, Brian. Yeah, so Giolito I knew.
Giolito and Bello. Bello's looked really good. And then you get the newcomer Wednesday in Dustin May. So Boston's looking they're staying home. Kansas City's coming there, struggling Kansas City team. You know, this is not have the makings of it being good for the Yankees right now.
Yeah, unless they can take 2 out of 3 on the days when Fried and Rodon pitch, and then maybe Evaldi shoves. At least they're not seeing DeGrom in the series. But I don't know. Like, at least if they could take 2 out of 3, great, because you expect the Blue Jays to definitely win the series, maybe even sweep the Rockies. And then you expect, I think, Boston to win. I mean, I don't know. Kansas City maybe can play a hard. Really quick, though, we were talking about new threads. Bailey Falter, new thread. Kansas City, Ryan Bergert, new thread. And then that's for Monday, Tuesday for Kansas City, Wednesday for Boston, Dustin May. So there's some new faces.
And also, since we were talking about Texas Yankees, let's also skip down. Seattle's got the White Sox. So this is also big for the Rangers as well.
Yeah, because Seattle's at home.
Yeah, Seattle's at home, and they got Brian Wu, George Kirby, and Logan Gilbert going.
Ew.
With that big potent lineup they got now, facing off against Davis Martin, Jonathan Cannon, and Shane Smith. If Seattle sweeps here and the Rangers drop 2 out of 3 of the Yankees, that's not good for them because now they're reverting right back to that what they were previously and being that can't get over 500 team and stay over 500.
Right, and Seattle, who is on Houston's tail, Houston is on a 3-game losing streak. They got swept over the weekend by Boston, I think.
Oh yeah, also new threads. Carlos Correa went yard.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like different, but same.
Yeah, exactly.
Like we've seen him do that a million times in Houston, and now he's back doing it. But how about Houston? It has Miami. Now, Miami just got the 500, but Seattle with that favorable matchup against a bad White Sox team. Mariners are home with those 3 stud pitchers you talked about. They have that going for them. Houston's traveling to Miami, and Miami's 500. Who cares? But if Houston doesn't take care of business and Seattle does, well, we'll see those standings get closer too.
Wow, yeah, this could be a real different look when we revisit this on Friday.
Yeah, well, we'll do our little predictions quick. Let's look at the National League. Phillies and Mets both have favorable matchups. They're both home. Baltimore's coming to Philly. Don't know how Baltimore's looked as of late. 6-4 in their last 10, but they're still 10 games under 500. That's who Philly has. Mets are hosting Cleveland, and Cleveland 5-5 in their last 10. They're one game above 500. Mets obviously are in second place by half a game. I don't know who I'm more scared of, Baltimore, Cleveland. You like to think both the home teams take care of business here.
Yeah, so Baltimore, obviously, you can't just you can't just write them off. I mean, they've been bad this year, but they still have some notable guys. We are getting Povich, Kremer, and Rogers, but also like Charlie Morton just almost shut us out. So you have to take that into account. The Phillies bats really need to they just need to figure it out. Mets, on the other hand, they have Manaea, Holmes, and Peterson going for them. 3 guys who have been great for them this year.
By the way, Manaea does throw crossbody.
Yeah. Don't forget that fact. Then you got Ciccone, Allen, and Williams on the opposite side. So I don't really know who you lean here, Guardians or the Orioles, but either way.
You like to think that's going to stay close. And I mean, listen, Mets could very well take 2 out of 3 from Cleveland. So with that being said, Phillies better take 2 out of 3 from Baltimore. If they
exactly.
Want to
yeah.
So that's how that's going to look.
It's almost like you don't want to look backwards, but you also are keeping an eye on what the Mets are doing if you're the Phillies.
Yeah, you do got it because the Phillies have their own issues. You want to take care of yourselves and just worry about one game at a time. But the Mets are kind of biting at your nips a little bit, or nipping at the butt, whatever, biting on your nips. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll go with biting at your nips.
Yeah, we'll go with that. And I guess Miami's too deep to not be in it, but they do host Houston and they're 500. I don't think that matters for shit. Actually, should we do a wild card check? What do the Miami look like now? 6 games behind a wild card spot.
Yeah, 6 games out. Also, we got to give some credit to Kyle Stowers, man.
Oh, he's gonna get MVP votes. I remember talking about this last week.
Yeah,
and he continues to dazzle. He had a good series too.
If he isn't a Silver Slugger this year, something's wrong.
Yeah, unless there's just a surplus. I mean, like what is he, a left fielder or whatever? He's got to be he's got to do something. I remember saying this, I think last week. He's currently at 71 ribbies. He had a 4 ribby day yesterday with a homer. He had 2 homers against the Yankees, but 25 homers, 71 ribbies at a 296 batting average. He could finish with over 30 homers, 100 ribbies, hitting close to 300. I mean, he's going to get MVP votes this year.
100%. So right now, it would probably go to PCA, Stowers, and then you're either giving it to Soto or James Wood. And Soto or James Wood.
Is that what the odds say? Ohtani, Schwarber?
Ohtani would be DH.
You're talking Silver Slugger.
Yeah, Silver Slugger.
Got it. Yeah, so he has James Wood in left.
Yeah.
I don't know if they just pick 3 outfielders or if
I think they probably would just pick 3 outfielders kind of thing.
Wood looks good too. I mean, Wood and Stowers have similar numbers. The only difference is Stowers crushes him in the batting average department.
Yeah, the batting average department, he's absolutely killing them. And in OPS a little bit too.
And also, his team is 500. I don't know if anyone. I think a lot of people saw what Miami's doing right now. I think people thought, at least I did. I thought Washington would kind of be doing.
So did I. 100%.
Float around 500, maybe not finish above 500, but be around 500. Where the Marlins would kind of be dead last. Instead, it's flip flop. So I'd give love to Stowers because he is their team MVP.
And also want to give some love to Agustin Ramirez too.
I
think he's been hitting the shit out of the baseball too. 17 bombs, 50 RBIs, batting 241. But I think as of late, he's been killing the baseball.
Every time I was watching that Yankees series, a guy would come up and they were had 2 hits on the day. So I don't want to think about it anymore. But here's some other notables to start the week. Milwaukee, obviously a notable. They're 2 games above the Cubbies. They're in Atlanta. So again, Atlanta, another dog shit team in the East. You like to think Milwaukee can continue to take care of business because the Cubbies actually have the harder matchup here. Cincinnati's coming to town. So the Cubs are home, but they have the harder matchup with Cincy. And then you want to talk about the West. Dodgers are at home against St. Louis. I don't know if St. Louis is a tough matchup, but the Dodgers are at home. You like to think they take care of business. The Padres are traveling to Arizona. Padres are 3 games behind the Dodgers. So some other things to take note of to start the week.
And Diamondbacks finally, they unloaded a lot. Merrill Kelly made his debut on Sunday.
Whenever it was, but he looked good. That's another new thread. Hey, there's a pitcher that guy. I knew we were missing a big name. That's a new thread. When did he pitch?
Sunday, I think. Or was it Saturday?
Second, which was Saturday. 5 2/3, 2-1, but got a no decision.
Yeah. So
6 Ks, no walks.
Oh, was that the only
Only
game
4
that
hits.
Texas won?
Saturday?
I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
I think that
must
is the
be
only game
only
that Texas
they
won. But the Diamondbacks are finally falling. They're 53-59, 6 games under. They got rid of everybody. What do you think was going to happen? So
yeah. So you like to think what San Diego comes in, takes care of business. St. Louis, again, I don't really know if they were buyers or sellers, but they're 1 game under right now.
they can be sneaky. But granted, Dodgers potent ass lineup. So
Yeah.
I think actually the last time St. Louis and the Dodgers played, St. Louis won the series. I think that's when they were playing like really good baseball.
I could see it. I mean, the Dodgers have struggled against them, like Milwaukee this year. Like they might be 0-6 against Milwaukee or whatever it is. But either way, those are some things going on. With that being said, predictions of how the standings will look by Friday, given the fact that I think some of the closer, we touched on a lot of the closer ones, the ones that have been fluctuating more and more, and some of them look different now than they did on Friday. So predictions now for next Friday when we revisit this shit. What are they going to look like, and which deadline piece was going to help these teams kind of propel them, give them the upper edge?
So if we're talking about the East, the AL East right now, I think it stays the same.
I agree.
But I actually think it just kind of stays the same. I don't think there's going to be much movement, especially with who the Red Sox and the Blue Jays are playing.
Yep.
Not that the Yankees are going to play horribly, but I think it stays the same.
They could play horribly.
Mariners, though,
they tend to.
Houston's 2-8 in their last 10. That's not great. They are playing Miami, who's hot right now.
Yeah.
I could see the Mariners being a half game out come
Miami
Friday.
Miami to your point, 8-2 in their last 10.
Yeah, so I could see the Mariners being a half game out by the time this rolls around.
Should we put a golden take on it? Should we do a little?
Oh, we haven't done a golden take in a while.
This is the
first all right. The Mariners. Yeah, I'll say it. The Mariners have been will be a half game out of first place come Friday.
Okay, I kind of want to do something with Cincinnati. They're pretty hot right now. Maybe not. I like that. I like that. Yeah, Mariners is a good one to touch on. I want to say, who else do we have here? Oh, okay. I'm going to say the Phillies will be. We'll gain a game on the Mets.
I would love that, man. I would love a little sweep here. Can we get a Phil sweep? What do you say? Huh? What do you say? Can we get one? But that would be awesome. They need a series to get these bats going again, man. They need a series where they just tee off all 3 games.
I'd love to see the Mets because the Mets, the Phillies and Mets are both 500 in their last 10. The only difference is the Phillies are ending that 10 with a win. The Mets are ending that 10-game span with a loss. So yeah, let's hope that Cleveland is a better team than Baltimore. Maybe Baltimore, I don't know. Baltimore pitch doesn't scare me. Not that Cleveland's does, but I mean, it's not like, maybe Slade Ciccone comes in and crushes Mania. Maybe J-Ram goes nuts in this series.
I would love J-Ram to go nuts. He's freaking unbelievable.
I love it. So yeah,
he's the first. He hit a milestone this weekend too. He was like the first hitter, the only switch hitter to have a certain number of home runs and like stolen bases since Carlos Beltran.
Damn, son.
Yeah. So
those are our golden tags. You're going to go Seattle route. I'm going to say Phillies gain some ground. We'll revisit that.
I like the Phillies staying in first place. I think the Central, who the Brewers have? Brewers got Atlanta, Cubs got Cincinnati. Ooh. So I'd say the Brewers stay in first.
I agree
as well.
I think so.
And with Dodgers Padres, the Dodgers stay in first, but I think the Padres gain at least a game here.
I could see that. I don't think for as much potential movement that there can be. I am kind of with you. I do think things kind of stay the same, but you might see some like teams gain some ground or what have you. I think the real movement from here on out, because every team kind of knows who they are at this point. The real movement from here on out is it's going to come down to when these teams play each other.
Yeah,
and that's going to be some big time shit late in the season. Teams are playing each other. That's crazy. But the second question here: which deadline piece will give the team a little upper edge here and give that little whatever they were missing before the deadline? Now they acquired a guy who can help elevate the team.
I think it's gonna be the Mariners guys.
Yeah,
I think Suarez, and they're not facing the best pitching over there with Chicago. They're home in Seattle. Let Naylor and Suarez just absolutely unload and they just go off.
And you said perfect time for Seattle to get going. That's a good golden take, given the fact that they're home against the fucking White Sox team. Houston, yes, maybe a decent little matchup for them, but Seattle has the more favorable matchup at home. I kind of like what you see. You get a Yohan Duran. I love that, man. Mm-hmm. I think that is exactly what the Phillies need, and we all knew it's what they needed. But to go out and do it against a good Tigers team, the Phillies take 2 out of 3, much needed shit. I love to think that Duran can be that guy that can. Obviously, we all knew that he gave the Phillies what they were missing, but we saw it in real time, and I think he's going to continue to do it.
And listen, I don't like the Padres, but watch out for the Padres guys too. This is it's a division rival. That Arizona kind of sucks, but you want to gain some ground. Lean on the new guys. Lean on the new kids on the block. Let them go. Let them go nuts.
The new kids on the block. That's a good way to put it. And by the way, we're going to be keeping an eye out on these new kids because we want to see these new threads, and we want to see who makes an impact on their new team. That's going to be that's the other part about like post deadline shit. Like it's all fun leading up to the deadline, then post deadline, it's like, well, who's actually making an impact here? Yankees relievers did not. Duran did. Mason Miller did. It seems like every reliever did except for the Yankees guys.
The Yankees guys will.
Even Kyle
Fagan will.
Fucking safe. Yeah. Against Philly. Fucking A. At the bank. Whatever. And momentum was high because Duran came out the night before and it was like.
I know. Kyle Finnegan's used to pitching in Citizens Bank, though.
That's true.
He's used to it.
Yeah, and here's the thing, but the Duran knew those hitters too. Because those were
he did, yeah. That is. I didn't even think about that part either.
Yeah, how about that? They faced off against former division teams.
Yeah,
all the games ended in a save, 2 from Duran and 1 from Kyle. So that's cool, I guess. Whatever, little cutesy thing. Speedway Classic. But hey, less is more. We established that. Don't run out of hot dog buns. Well, it's better to run out of the buns than the dogs. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, what if you're just feeding bread like you're letting people ration or something like that?
Yeah, like they're ducks. But either way, that's all for today, I guess. We'll revisit shit on Wednesday. We keep an eye out on their new thread, dudes. And keep an eye out on how bad the Yankees play this week against Texas. All right. Watch it on the morning. Thanks for putting it in.